everybody, and welcome to Wednesday. You've made it through the week, halfway through anyways. My name is Colleen Magnus. Today you are creating with Colleen, and we're going to have some fun stamping. It is a beautiful day here in Virginia. Sunny. I see another walk in my future. I tend to do a lot of those before we hit that 95-degree heat or 90-degree heat and humidity. But today I had to pivot. I want to thank all of you who placed orders yesterday for our free shipping. That was an amazing special from Stampin' Up, but a few things went on the non-orderable list. And don't worry, we knew that was going to happen because one, we have an amazing catalog that just started May 1st. And two, with free shipping, lots of people were taking advantage of that, and that was smart. So the good news is a lot of these, some of the items will be in next week. We have a big shipment coming in on June 3rd. So that will be great, and your products will be back in stock. But the things that I was going to show you today were not available. So I didn't want to tease you, although you could just add it to your wish list. But I'm going to wait a week because sometimes these items even come in sooner. So what I'm showing to you today was actually a carryover stamp set, and it's called Planted Paradise. But it's really cool stamp set because it is a double play stamp. And I don't know if you know what that is, but we are going to find out what that is today as we create a card. And then I'm going to show you another set. I'm going to try to teach you a different way of looking at your photopolymer stamp sets to where many of the other ones can be a double play too. So let me go ahead and boot up here. Get that going. I will turn the camera down, but again, thank you for joining me. I come to you live every Wednesday at noon Eastern time, and I love having you in the stamp room. It's more fun to create with other people, you know, that you can interact with as opposed to just yourself. So let me turn the camera down, and we are going to get started. And hopefully I won't hit any extra buttons. Technology has been beating me up lately. I do a Zoom event with my team. Come on, baby, come on. Once a month, and we get together to stamp. I give them the measurements and we create together. And oh my goodness, last night everybody was having such a hard time with Zoom. And I don't understand that because typically you only have to click the link and then you get right on. But you know, it's not up to you. It's up to the computer and the program as to how it's going to go. But thankfully we all did get on and we had a great time creating. Oh, so we survived. It was all good. So hey, Diane, I'm glad you're here. You are so faithful. Thank you. I appreciate that. And Judith is here, South Carolina. Renee, I hope you're having a wonderful day. And Gwen, you too. And Deborah, Carol, Steph. Hey, Steph, always good to see you in the stamp room. And Kay, Kay must make her camp days on Wednesday because last week when we were live, she was traveling to the campground and now she's traveling home. So absolutely safe travels, Kay. Mary, I'm glad you are here today. I have missed seeing you, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Oh, McKay from Minnesota. Lisa, welcome. Jody. So Steph is in Wisconsin. So we've got a lot of different places represented in the house today. I love that. Okay, so here's the card that we are going to create. It is a Z-fold card. And it was inspired and actually just totally copied from Michelle Brown, a dear friend of mine. And y'all know I love my more earthy colors. And these two colors go great together. Mossy Meadow and Poppy Parade. Beautiful, beautiful colors. And I'm going to show you what this double play stamping is all about when we create this card. So this is the stamp set. It's called Planted Paradise. And what's so cool about it is you stamp with each side of the stamp. The ones that are light, that is the back side of the photopolymer stamp. So you can stamp in a lighter color and stamp that on top, and you have a perfect kind of a two-step stamping. Now these are a little bit hidden. They are, again, they were carryovers, and they're on page 83 of the annual catalog down here. But the turtle is another amazing one. Michelle has the turtle stamp set, and I'm going to grab that from her soon so I can create with that. But if you can see in the stamp set, you can see that by just flipping it over, you could really get the background, the lighter color, well, let me raise that up, of the turtle, and then put all the details on the top. That's not showing real good. But here's a perfect example on page 82 of the double play. So they either stamped off or they stamped the turtle and then turned it over to what we would consider the regular side of the stamp and stamped it again. And again, it's beautiful. I thought it was downright genius. They have that with the starfish and all the other ones also. So what we are going to do, let me give you your measurements that we have here. You need to take your screenshots. So first you have your Mossy Meadow, gorgeous green. It's in the neutrals colors. And this is 8.5 by 5.5. And it is scored at 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. So y'all know with the card, if you were to just fold it in half, you know, that's a card. That's your 4 1/4. But you're going to take this 4 1/4, split that in half, and that's where your 2 1/8 comes in. That's where your Z fold comes in. So you have that. Then for the inside, you are going to need the 4 by 5 1/4 basic white. Then you are going to need a piece of 2 3/4 by 3.5 of Old Olive. These two colors were made for each other. It's like a Lost Lagoon not Poppy Parade. What's the other one? Lost Lagoon, Pretty Peacock. That's like those two were made for each other. Well, so was Old Olive and Mossy Meadow. And then you have a piece that is 2.5 by 3 1/4 inches. That is basic white. And I have gone ahead and embossed that with the eyelet folder. That's like one of my new favorites out of the new catalog. Although the swirly, you're going to be seeing that soon. That is another awesome folder. So take your screenshot so you can cut your pieces later and create again. You know, you can always watch the replay. And I will. It takes me closer to a week, but I will have the picture of this and the finished project with this link on my Creating with Colleen Creating with Colleen Facebook page also. So in taking this, first we're going to stamp on here. So let me just get a piece of scrap paper. And since it folds this way, I really only want the outside. So I will take my Mossy Meadow and the larger stamp here and just do a collage. Now when you are inking this, you know, you should never have like part of it inked or not. You can see very clearly when I ink this that it is fully inked, the stamp. You can also see all the veining in the leaves because I didn't push hard in my ink pad. If you push too hard, you're gonna gush some ink in those veins and you don't want that. So just light taps and then just create a collage. And I like to just turn my paper. I think it makes it easier. But again, just look, you'll see you have it going the right way every time. And to make a collage, make sure you're coming off the edge. And I'll share that on this side. So I'm just putting it on here. And although I want it on this edge, when I do that, I'm going to hold it tight and just make sure I get it on there really well. Let's go this way. I can put one right there. So that is collage stamping. And again, always make sure, let me put another one here. You get carried away so easily. It's like, I did too much. So I'm going to stop right there. We're just going to stop there. So now, since I already have my Mossy Meadow out, and I've got ink on my fingers, and oh my goodness, I have a dilemma. I have tan crop pants on. So I cannot wipe my hands on my jeans. Look, good thing I had a paper towel. Whew. Hopefully it'll stay off my card and only go the ink where I want it to go. So here I'm kind of doing the same thing. I have the smaller leaf. And again, what I'm going for are the bold leaves. Let me see. I had a little something on there. I will go like this. Also, watch your edges, or you're going to have other little pieces that you don't want. And another way to not get your edges is kind of stamp towards the edge of the pad. You'll see that? Where I'm not putting my whole, you know, like this, you might tip an edge in there. If you stay off the side, I don't think you will. So I'm just going to put some falling leaves over here. like so. And not too many because I'm going to fill that in. All right, one more at the top. And nope, I'm not going to do that. I'll wait. I'll stop there. Again, that fine line. Hey, Melinda, I'm glad you're here. Diane, I love the new eyelet folder too. I seem to be using it with everything, so I need to introduce some of the other folders, but I think it goes with so much. It's so pretty. So here I have this little squilly, and I need to make sure this is kind of solid on both sides, but I want the one that's just a little bit thinner. So again, check to make sure you have good coverage. A little bit of a vine. And something else you can do that I don't really recommend with rubber stamps. With the photopolymer, they were designed for really detailed stamps because it's a harder plastic. I guess you could call it a plastic. So it doesn't give as much. That's why a lot of times you need either a really flat surface or you want to put maybe let me see right here, which probably should have done, or your Pearson mat underneath it. Because you don't have the cushiness that you do of the red rubber. But at the same time, you can actually stamp it and just like give a little edge because more than likely you don't have any ink on that edge where a red rubber stamp you might. Okay. La, la, la. Okay, I think there we go. So that's my edge, because you do see that. So I will take this and my stamp and seal, and I'm going to put this in the center of my card. Y'all know with your stamp and seal, just make sure it's sticky and roll your wrist and pick it up. Roll. Roll like that. If you do it like this, the gumminess comes off. So you do want to make sure it's there. But if you roll it, you have a perfect strip every time. A little bit of a learning curve when we first got this, but it really is awesome. Okay, so there's my center. Like that. This really is a good, easy card. And there's something to be said for easier cards. You know, we don't always have an hour to sit down and stamp a card, so something like this, I think, you know, it's good to have around. Plus, I'm not putting a sentiment in here. So you can leave this open for any sentiment that you want. But I'm going to put this on here. And now I'm going to work on the pot. So for the pot, it is actually, I am going to put that there because I really want a good cush on there. And again, this has another, if I turned it over, I could actually have a lighter and a darker ink together. I'm going to show you that with the stamp set. You may not know you can do this with. So again, don't gush it. Don't push hard. Light taps. Move it around. You can see that it's inked well and that it's not inside the flowers. Good little pressure, and I have a perfect pot. Now here's where I'm going to show you where the two-step, the double play comes into play. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go with Mossy Meadow, and I'm going to have to, in order to create my foliage, I am going to have to put this on here as such. So I'm going to go 1, 2. Hey, Mary Kay, I'm glad you were able to make it. The stamp set that I'm using, it's called Planted Paradise. And they call this a double play stamp because if you turn your photopolymer to the back side, they all coordinate with the front and give it a nice little image. And you came at a good time because that's what I'm getting ready to show you. So I've stamped 3 of those in Mossy Meadow. I'm going to take my chamois, and y'all know the reason the chamois looks so bad is because it still works so well. It holds the ink to where my stamp, just a little twist, perfectly clear. It's just water. And then I can take this and just rinse it out. And even though the ink and the staining doesn't come out, the ink does. And I just keep using it. So I guess eventually when it doesn't work, if that ever happens, I'll change it. But other than that, I keep it wet with just water, and I keep it in one of the cases that we have. I need to probably switch this out, my designer paper. But I don't know if I was telling y'all, I do another live on Creations from the Heart, scrapbooking. That's another Facebook page that you could join. But we had a convention in Orlando, a Stampin' Up! Convention. So of course I had to find Mickey, and I put a notepad in here. These make great gifts too. I had a notepad cut down, put it in here, and then had a coordinating pen, and then they had something to take their notes on. So going back to stamping, let me focus. I'm going to take this now and I'm going to turn it over. So the detailed side, my veins are on the block, but the back side, that is actually flat. So I'm going to put this on here because I'm going to stamp off, but now I'm going to go in with my old olive and I'm going to ink it up and just lightly stamp off. And then when I come on here, and I'm going to cut these out so it doesn't have to be too perfect. I'll put this like this. Good thing, because I really got that one off. But see how the two colors can coordinate? You could see now how it's just colored in with the light old olive and the mossy meadow. And that's just because I used the back side of the photopolymer. Double play. So let me clean that. So now what I'll do, y'all know it won't take long, I'm a fast cutter. But I'm going to take our paper snips, which are awesome. There are no coordinating dies. I apologize. But I think everything in here, especially the pots, they're a pretty easy cut, to be honest with you. So I'm coming around. I like to turn my paper when I cut. It makes it a little bit easier. So I have a pot. Let me take a little more of that white off. It's the other thing I love about a pair of paper snips. I mean, you can, if you have to cut little edges out, you can do that. So who here is stamping with me? Hey, Lynn, I'm glad you're on. Who here is stamping with me that remembers before we had a die cutting machine and everything you did, you cut with scissors? You're going to be telling your age, but that's okay, because I remember that day. When Stampin' Up! First came out with the Big Shot, that was like, oh my goodness, they announced that at convention, and it was just an answer to prayer. And of course, now you know all the wonderful dies that we have, the embossing folders. I mean, creativity was just taken to a new level. But some stamps are easy enough to cut. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll just come across the tips. So then when I come in here like this, it's easy to cut. So one more. And see, again, I can just come in here, trim that up a little bit. Yes, Diane remembers how exciting it was when she got it. We do too. I mean, we just went crazy. It's definitely one of the best machines out there. The other one was the Stamparatus. Stampin' Up! Definitely had the best Stamparatus on the market. So sadly, they had to take that off though, because they were in a legal battle with somebody else. I think somebody said, I don't know if they had a patent on the hinge. I don't know what it was. But that was a great day and a sad day all the same. But I do have mine and I love it. Okay, so to put my plant together, I'm just going to take some of my Stampin' Seal and put it at the top. And then I'm just going to put one of these off to the side, another one off to the side, and then I could put a little bit more adhesive here and put this on the back so that it kind of sticks up a little bit. So my plant is very full. The deer have not gotten to my plants yet. Those of you who are watching who are on my team, when we were doing our Zoom last night, I was telling them how we are having such a hard time with the deer in our yard. I mean, they used to only eat the bushes. So we have a spray that we put on the bushes and all is well. But they are going after much of anything. They even ate my geranium. I've never seen them eat a geranium. I always have one hanging by the front porch. So what I did is thought I was being smart. I would go out there, take my geranium down for the night, put it on the table on the front porch, and then put it out in the morning. Do you know they came on my front porch and ate every single flower off the geranium? So right now, my backyard looks wonderful because anything that was flowering is in the backyard, but I just couldn't believe it. You know, they cleared a couple lots down the street, and I think that's where they were at. So my heart goes out to them. They're probably hungry, but my goodness, I want to have at least some kind of flower out front. So y'all were wondering, after we did our Zoom event last night, yes, I went out in the front yard, and 2 deer were in the front yard. But that's an improvement because the night before there were 4. So here I have this part of the card. And then I am going to take, I think these, the flowers on the front, it's just a perfect opportunity to have a small little bling in there. I got something on there. So I'm just going to take the small rhinestones and I'll put 1 in each flower. 1, 2. Oh, I hope these are small. I think they are. I'll grab that one. That one's hard to get. And 4. All right. So that is what a double play stamp is that I showed you right here. And again, I love Poppy Parade and the Mossy Meadow together. So one of the stamps that I wanted to share with you today, it's what I shared with my team last night, is this stamp right here. Let me show you. The Seaside Wishes. So the card that I was going to demo today uses the Seaside Wishes, and this has a embossing folder that is a 3D hybrid folder. So that is so cool. You can actually use the folder as an embossing folder, or you can put that folder and the dies together and it will emboss and cut at the same time. Well, sadly, the embossing folder is not available at the moment. It is coming in June 3rd. We had a couple things in case y'all were wondering. The Thoughtful Journey 6x6 paper will be in next week. So that's coming around the corner. Seaside Wishes will be in on June 3rd. A couple of the in color ink pads are not available. They will be June 3rd. The Brayer will be June 3rd. So June 3rd is a big day. Now June 6th is also a big day as it will be my birthday. Woohoo! And my sister was born on my birthday, so I really think her and I should go to lunch. That might be happening. But anyways, don't get discouraged. Again, it's a new catalog, so we know some things were going to become unavailable. But the best thing you could do is either order early. We have had 3 weeks to order. Or you can also join Stampin' Up! And then you actually get the pre-order the month before. And I'll tell y'all, I'll remind you again about the starter kit special that ends May 31st. But again, back to stamping. So I was looking at this and I haven't really played much with it yet, but I said, why can't I maybe make the sand dollar? Maybe I can do something with the sand dollar and see if I can make that a double play. So let me grab a block that size. Let me see. Okay. And let's see what we can do here. So if I take, I need my cleaning pad handy. There we go. If I take the sand dollar, let's see what we get. Because again, I think it lends itself to something like this. You have the solid side, and then you have the other side. So let's first try, I picked a couple different colors. And I think what I'm going to do is let me stamp the colors. I'm going to try some with 2 colors, and then I'll try something that are monochromatic. So I'll save the monochromatic ones. I think those 2 would be good because those are kind of beachy colors. So first I'm going to take Bubble Bath, and that is the lighter of the 2. I'm going to take Bubble Bath and Pretty in Pink. So for the Bubble Bath, I am going to have the flat side. So I'll put that down. So there's Bubble Bath. And while I'm at it, let me just clean this. And then I'm going to take Pretty in Pink. Let's see what that does. Pretty in Pink. Why wouldn't you stamp the light in first, the light color in first? I am doing the light color first, but at the same time, I think it depends on the stamp. Sometimes I think it's easier to put the detail in first and put the light over it, and sometimes it's easier to go the other way. So every stamp is different in that respect, believe it or not. Now this, I thought I'd get brave and try this. Okay, so let me show you something. This kind of bubbled up on my stamp, and that's because this is the basic beige and it's a new ink pad. So it is juicy. Sometimes, believe it or not, you can get an ink pad that can be too juicy. So all I do, just to take some of that out, I'll fold a paper towel, I'll put it on here and I'll rub. And trust me, it's not going to be dry. It's just that it takes a lot of that surface ink off. So let me clean this and try again. I think it's going to give me a much smoother stamped image. Here we go. So the nice thing about photopolymer too is when you push it down, you can see how the ink gets on there. So that was basic beige and bubble bath. So I'll wash this, and now let me turn it over. And now I've got the detail side. So let's go, since I have that handy, pretty in pink. The other thing is there is like kind of a right way and a wrong way. See how this is like the largest part of the sand dollar right here? That is right there. So that's how I'm going to try to line it up. So I'll ink this. It's hard to get right when you're on the camera here. Okay, so I wasn't exactly right on it. Maybe I'll get better with this one. But you can see how you're putting two different colors together. And I'll hold this up in a minute. So now I'm going to do Pebble Path. It's a little bit darker, but I was like, well, let me try that. I think it's just a matter of playing with colors. And let me see, the Pebble Path. That looks a little juicy too, but we'll see what happens. Ooh, and see, I love this basic gray because it's almost like a chameleon color. I was telling people, depending on what you put it with, it almost has a gray hue, little hint there, and if not, it can have more of a tan view. So this here, let's see if y'all can see that. It would look better if I was more spot on, but you can see now how you can double play the sand dollars like that. So then I thought, well, why couldn't you do monochromatic? Just use the same color and stamp off, kind of like what we did with the other one, even though we did use two different colors. So let's try that. Let's do, well, you know what? Let's try that. When you were asking about why wouldn't I stamp the light first, that was the light first, but let's try the dark first and see what happens. So this, ooh, that is juicy. Let me get my, oh, this, you know why? Because this is the new Summer Splash. So at least you know your pads come very well inked up, which is good. But again, almost too juicy. So I'll do that, take that off, and I think I'll get a much better image. Plus, stamp light, y'all know that. You've heard me say that many times before. So there is my sand dollar on the front. I think I had another color I was going to try that with. You know, let's do the basic beige. Okay, so then we'll do the basic beige full force, because that's the detail side. And then I'll flip it over. So now I have the flat side. So let me kind of line it up to see where I'm going with this. I think it'll be, let me see. Okay. See if that's it. Can y'all smell the smoke in my brain? Here we go. I think, there we go. I think that's it. So I will stamp it up, and then I'm going to stamp some of that off. And then when I come in here, you've got the little lines in between to help you line it up too. That is totally not lined up. But you can see the two together. So let me clean this. And then I'm going to take it with the light basic beige. And let me clean that too. Alrighty. So here, let me line that up. Here we go. So then I'll stamp off. because we're doing it monochromatic. And this really worked well when y'all weren't looking. Let me see. Here we go. Here we go. And then I'll put that on there. So that one, that one, let me see. I don't think that one works as good, the basic beige. This here, this was what I was practicing on earlier. So if you get it nicely lined up, then you can definitely see where it's light and dark a little bit. And then same here with this Summer Splash. And then these were the ones, basic beige and pebbled path with bubble bath and pretty in pink. So definitely I think something to play with, especially since it's photopolymer. And I did just get that, so I will be playing. So again, the stamp set that we did use though, that was Planted Paradise. So don't forget that one. I think it was really good. And the turtle one is also great. So I told you I was just going to remind you one more time of the starter kit special that Stampin' Up! Has. And basically, you're going to select $125 in new product from the new annual catalog. Only pay $99. They only pay tax. Shipping is free. And they are going to give you the 5 in-color ink pads, the 6x6 designer paper, 8.5x11 cardstock, and the markers, all in the new in colors. That's an $82 value, in addition to the savings that you're already getting. So that's like $207 in product for only $99. And the best part is you will be a part of my Stampin' family, and we are very active. We are a bunch of creators who love to get together. I have a wonderful community, and I will help you every step of the way to learn all that you can. So there's no obligation to ever purchase again, but that's just a great deal. But it does end May 31st. So any questions, please let me know. Now y'all know, please give me a thumbs up. Thank you for leaving a comment. Please subscribe to my channel. And if there's anything you would like to purchase, you can go to creatingwithcolleen.com. And I was on my blog and I was checking around and I realized when you try to subscribe for my newsletter, the link is broken. And I think that is when Yahoo and everybody made us, we had to put something in the links, blah, 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 whatever it was. So if you do not get my newsletter and you would like to, please just contact me through Creating with Colleen until I get that fixed. And I would happily put you on my newsletter where I share all stamping. It's all stamping, all positive, all the time, y'all. So that is a card today. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will be creating very, very soon with the Seaside Wishes, because I want to show you how that 3D, how the embossing folder works on that. So lots of fun, lots of good products, so little time. So thank you all for joining me again. I really appreciate it. Oh, happy birthday, Mary Kay. We're both Geminis. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Happy birthday. I hope it's a beautiful day for you. Can't believe mine is coming up. And I gotta be honest with you. I had a hard time when my son turned 30, because I was like, oh my gosh, now he's on the downside and he's going to be going towards 40. But praise God, I've never had a hard time with my age. I think if you feel good, that you're just thankful for every year that you have, because every year is a gift. And I'm thankful. I have a couple aches and pains, but very blessed, and I don't take that for granted. So all of you take care. I'll be back with you next Wednesday at live, noon Eastern time. And a lot of these products might come in ahead of time, so I'll keep my eye on them, and we will be creating together. So I love you all. Thank you for being here, and I just hope you have a wonderful day. Happy stamping.